This is chapter 6 of Lady C's book. I broke it up into 3 different parts, so it's not just one long video. And I think you'll find it very interesting, and I'll be uploading chapter 12 very soon. And most interesting is Samantha has a book coming out. I think we should read it, don't you? Yeah, I'm definitely going to be reading Samantha's book. So here is to a wonderful 2021 to you guys, and enjoy chapter 6, or the first part of chapter 6 of Lady C's book, Meghan and Harry, The Real Story. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Happy to have you here today with me. And you see this right here? You see this? I cannot get my eye from stopping to water. There's something going on, and I'm so sorry, and I'm sorry if it's distracting, but I am having an issue, but I'm going to film anyway because it's kind of late, and I want to get this in, talk about chapter 6 of Lady C's book. Is talking about the wedding. There were some dynamics about it that Lady C brought up that I found very interesting. So you remember the part in the at the Lion King premiere, Pharrell Williams, he came, actually Meghan and Harry were in the receiving line, and they came to Pharrell Williams, and you know, he kind of curtsied to her. And I'm going to read a little bit of the book so that we can kind of get a sense of what Lady C is talking about, and then we'll talk about that. So the American entertainer Pharrell Williams summed it up well when he told Meghan and Harry, I am so happy for your union. Love is amazing. Love is beautiful. Don't ever take it for granted. But what it means in today's climate, I just wanted to tell you, it is so significant for so many of us. Seriously, we cheer you guys on. It was really nice of him to say. Harry and Meghan's response was graciously, completely in tune with the sentiments. She said, "Oh, thank you," before stating that her critics don't make it easy. She had missed the point entirely, which is that she now had a sacred duty to live up to. And no matter how difficult it was, she would be dashing the hopes people everywhere if she failed. It was therefore beside the point whether her critics made it easy or not. It was besides the point. Indeed, the mere fact that they did not was all the more reason to ensure that she succeed in the role she now embodied. So it's so interesting how Lady C brings this out, because it's so true. It's like Meghan didn't see the duty of this position that she was given. It was a privilege. It should have been an honor. It should have been, thank you, my love, that you decided to marry me, and that I love you, and that we can at all marry. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be able to come into this position of the British people, that the British people so admire, following in the footsteps of Harry's beautiful mother, Diana. And to look at her position as one of privilege and of duty and responsibility, but rather to say, you know, they, the people, the critics don't make it easy. She's missing the whole point of her even being in this position. And this is how you can see that she did not take what she was going into seriously. She didn't look at this position of marrying into this family, into this institution, adopting another country as your own. She didn't look at the big picture of all the things that she was gaining from this marriage, rather than to look at the negativity and to be so selfish and self-centered on the idea that it's really about you and the things that people have said about you, or the little things that have made you feel unsettled or upset, that you were so selfish in that moment to say they don't make it easy. You completely missed the whole point of your duty and your responsibility into which you were married into. And if Meghan truly, truly loved Harry, if she really loved him and was not infatuated with the idea of what Harry was giving her, if she truly loved him within the depths of her heart and her soul and her gut, and it was all Harry Windsor all day long, if that's how she felt, she would have taken what he represented in his duty and his history. She would have taken all of that and she would have respected that honor. She would have respected that. But this is how you know it's not love. And this is how you know it's not going to last. This marriage will not last because it is grounded in the most superficial ideology of self-entitlement, that to have a marriage based on that cannot succeed. And if it does succeed, it's going to succeed in the most superficial way to just make it look like they married or still married happily. It's not going to be in the sense of what it truly should be, and that is married for love and to come together in your duty of serving the people and protecting the crown. And, you know, didn't she see The Crown on Netflix before all this craziness? I mean, like, really? You're not looking at what you represent in this moment? So, you know, she just does not get it at all. And Harry, and this is what I was thinking as I was reading in this chapter 6. It's just like, Harry, why couldn't you just put a stop to this? Put your foot down. You know, because we're talking about her coming into this family and the wedding and all the things that have happened that really just, I mean, this chapter really highlights the depths of her superficiality. And it really all began with the wedding. And that's when I told you guys, this is what I said. I said, this is how I knew I had to step up and say something. I knew from that wedding, when I saw that wedding, just from watching it, and everyone's all Google-eyed and celebrities and cheering and parades and fans, now what's going, oh no, there's something wrong here. Something wrong. And it was, and it is. And how she came into this wedding. So this is the other things that Lady C is highlighting. This is some really, I mean, this chapter went by so fast. It was really good. So she had missed that point entirely. And then we go on to, there is a very self-sacrificial aspect which is never entirely offset by the superficial glamour surrounding the high-profile aspects of royal life. Meghan was something of an expert on Diana, Princess of Wales. She will therefore have been familiar with Diana's complaint to Princess Grace of Monaco on the occasion of her first official engagement with Prince Charles at the Royal Opera House, Covent Garden, as Diana bemoaned how horrendous she was finding all the public attention, incidentally, which she ensured she maintained till the very end of her life. Attention, in fact, which actively contributed to her death, and that it could not have existed without the participation of the press, and that this Diana was careful to nurture, despite to the contrary. Grace said with equal parts of wit and truthfulness, "Don't worry, dear, it will only get worse." And it did, though it never got so bad for all Diana's complaints to the contrary that she swapped the approbation that came her way as a result of being the Princess of Wales for a more retired way of life. And we know, yes, later, you know, after the divorce, Princess Diana did want to, you know, back off, and it was too much. She had to kind of say, look, I'm only going to manage so many charities. I can't keep doing this. It was too much for her. Now, Meghan plainly was taking a leaf out of Diana's book, resenting the demands and intrusions with the glamorous aspects the press and public demanded of their new style icon. Like Diana, who was also very in tune with her feelings, Meghan had conflicting attitudes to the pros and cons of being royal. Had she had a more open and less personal approach towards her new role of royal duchess, had she focused less on the sensation it generated within her and accepted the rough with the smooth in a more comprehensive manner, she would have been entirely in tune with what Pharrell Williams was saying. She would have realized that when the going gets tough, the tough get going towards success, not towards complaints of self-pity. One way or the other, you are obliged to pay for your privileges. And though the downside was disagreeable, the upside should have been well worth the effort, especially if she had hoped to undertake the massive humanitarian role she and Harry had indicated that they intended for themselves. So had she really put aside, like I said before, all the difficulties and just looked at the humanitarian side of, look at the bigger picture of what it was that she was doing and just think, wow, look at this wonderful life I have now. I am essentially on a pedestal of world popularity. I get to help out all these disadvantaged people as comparable to what my life is like. Of course, I want to put aside my own needs and my own wants and desires. And now I want to help the less fortunate on a much bigger scale. If that is what her true intent really was. But that was not what her true intent was. We can see it wasn't about helping the people. It was not about helping the people. It was about helping herself. And we rehash it and we talk about it. But we must never forget what Meghan Markle has done. We must never become blinded by the false narrative that she has pushed upon this institution, for which she made it seem like she was willing to help and be a humanitarian, but rather to use it for herself, and to use that in a way is the way that she has used it, the way has she has established it and come into this position in which she finds herself today, is to me so repulsive and dishonorable, to treat the people and the less fortunate this way while living in your 16 bathroom house is an insult to common decency that you perpetrated to the people, the millions of people that watched this wedding, to say she's coming in to do something for the people because of the love she has found in her man, Harry Windsor. And it's all a big, fat lie. Now, I really love this comparison that Lady C made with Meghan Markle and what she was doing with her job on Suits, because let's face it, when she got this job on Suits, which I'm almost certain her ex-husband Trevor helped her to get, which she pimped him out to help her to get this position anyway, in terms of any job that was going to really propel her celebrity, because I don't think, and not to be mean, but I just don't think her acting chops was going to get her anywhere close to the kind of role that she had. I think she had a little bit more growth to do towards becoming a better actor, but nonetheless she got this opportunity because of how she married, and women do it all the time. Okay, so she did it and it worked for her, and so she finds herself in a position where she's been elevated to a position and a television show that's successful, not a big part, but she used it to her advantage. She's making more money than she's ever made before, and now she's having to work with other people as a team player. She's working with the producers, the writers, the director. I don't know if they had, sometimes they have different directors for different episodes, but you know, she'd have to work with a new director possibly every few weeks, or you know, she had her castmates that she had to work with. She had to be a team player. So she wasn't coming in making all these demands. I mean, she did this show for 6 years. So she was conforming to what her role was. It was like, okay, I'm an actress. I got to go on set for maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And then I'm waiting for 20 hours while I go shoot my little scene. And she's not complaining. She's just doing what she knows she has to do, what the job is as an actor. Because that is true. When you show up, it's like, hurry up and get here and wait. You may have a 5 a.m. call time, but you probably won't even hit the set until a little after like lunchtime. And all that time, you're just waiting. You know, do you think Meghan is making demands? Hey, look, when I get here, I want to get on the set and get out of here because I got to go shopping. I want to shoot my scene and I want to leave. Now, if she were acting like this, she would have been kicked off that show a long time ago. But because she was on the show for 6 years, we know that she was doing her job. She was showing up on time. She had her lines. She knew what her lines were. You know, she was doing her part and it was working. But at the same time, she finds herself coming into the royal family and it's like she's no longer a team player. It's no longer about Queen Elizabeth. It's no longer about the people or the British public. It's no longer about anybody but her now. It's like, I've given you the great duty of having me into your family. So I want to leave and everyone's a racist and I'm leaving. Bye. Like, that's what she did. that is what she did. Okay. Now, don't argue with me about that because the facts are the facts. So she didn't do that when she had her part in the royal family, but yet, she didn't do that when she had her part on the television show Suits. But she certainly did that when she came into the royal family. And so ask yourself why? Why would she do that? Right? Why would you even think you could do that? Who says that? You know, when people show up to somewhere new, I know that when I go to someone's house, I'm respectful. I'm very tolerant of things that I may not want to do myself, but I'm going to tolerate it while I'm visiting with you, while I'm a guest in your home. I'm not just coming in trying to say and do what I want to do, because it's like the audacity to do something like that. That's so rude. It's so unbecoming, isn't it? It's just like, you rude. Like, what's wrong with you? You know, and I know because that's the British people and the royalty, you know, they like, oh, this is royalty. You know, we is the ultimate of the high class of the high class. You know, no one comes in here as stepping out of line and being, you know, not being respectable and dignified and having manners. Like, you go to school to learn how to even talk to Queen Elizabeth. You know, I mean, I know it's not all that crazy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they give instructions on, you know, how when you meet the queen and blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's rules and things that you have to do. And to come into this family and to disrespect that and to, you know, to me, it feels like, you know, behind the scenes, there should have been I would have snatched that Harry up in the very beginning when she was complaining about the mustiness of the church. I would have had, Harry, you better get her in line. Get that girl in line. Like, they should have been putting their foot down in the very, very beginning before it got out of control. And they didn't, and look what happened. She thinks she can go on doing all kind of stuff. So we know Princess Diana, you know, when she came into the royal family, she had a lot of struggles too. I mean, okay, Meghan had hers, Princess Diana had hers. And you would think that someone like Meghan would be able to keep those struggles, you know, kind of low key, because, you know, you're going to have issues. You're coming into something that's very new and unfamiliar. You got to have time to adjust to it. You know, the same was with Princess Diana. I mean, her husband was seeing Camilla and she knew it. You know, she was having issues with all the attention. She had a lot of personal struggles that she was dealing with. That when she was in public, she wanted to keep herself dignified. And, you know, she was in this marriage. I mean, it took many years before it started to crack. And you started to see things within their personal lives. But, you know, it's like the minute Meghan came into the royal family, she was like, no, time to go. Time to go. Yep, the people know who I am. I'm not happy. I'm leaving. You know, and she should not have shown that she was having such issues so soon, because it should be expected that you're going to have issues. So this is another thing how you know she wasn't there for the legitimate reasons. You know, Princess Diana, she was able to respectfully to keep her struggles quiet that she was dealing with, because guess what? She had plans to stay. Meghan didn't. Meghan didn't have plans to stay. So, and that's why as soon as she started having problems, things that she just didn't want to do anymore, is why she just wanted to step up and step out and leave. But Miss Diana, our lovely Miss Princess Diana, at her tender age of 19, as a virgin girl, bless her heart, from the very beginning, knew that I'm here for love. I'm here to do my duty, and I'm struggling. I'm sad. You know, she dealt with, she had disorders where she would binge eat. You know, she had times where she lost a lot of weight. She had a lot of emotional issues that she was dealing with while in this marriage. But nonetheless, her ultimate goal was always to stay married and to be with her husband, and to try to make that work in the situation in which she found herself with him. And it became unbearable that it just couldn't continue. I know Prince Charles wanted the divorce, where the Queen wanted them to divorce. And, you know, but she always wanted to, you know, if she could have had it her way, she would have stayed married with her husband. Right. And the same with Prince Philip. You know, when he married Queen Elizabeth, you know, he's a man who has to now walk behind his wife. I mean, he gave up a lot. He couldn't show that he was the man anymore. It was all about the duty. It was all about the position of, you know, the power in which she now found herself in. He had to be, you know, play second fiddle to his wife, you know, but he was committed to the marriage, to the institution. So you put aside these struggles and you don't come in making demands for things to be how you want them. But you respect the institution to suffer and to go through those hardships and to find a way to make it work while staying where you are, right? Because you've been given a lot of privilege. You have been given so much. I mean, I don't think she can even understand the privilege she was given. But you should be able to set aside that for the sake of what it is. Since the whole purpose of the royal family is to represent its nation as a whole, there's only ever one game in town for each royal family. An undisciplined and destructive ensemble player who breaks rank will therefore ultimately be nothing but a force for destructiveness where the royal family is concerned. Meghan was committed to being on this television show, Suits. She was committed to the role that she had. She was willing to be a team player. She knew from the very beginning she was not planning to stay on the team of royalty. Because you best be believing these same people that are fans of Meghan, they would never condone someone coming into their house being disrespectful. But yet, if only they could see, that's exactly what Meghan did when she came into the royal family. So this would be so whether the establishment is a company, a firm, a television series, or anything else, newcomers are not expected to demand fundamental changes to the lifestyle until they have had time to adjust to it and to see what suits them. Right? Everyone has quibbles over certain things, and it's given latitude to ignore minor rules that are not fundamental to the existence of the institution. But the idea that someone at an entry level will impose a new way of doing things on an old order is unthinkable. It's the wisdom of the ages. I even know this for myself, and we all do. We know that the older you become, the more wise you become. The more life you have lived, the wiser you become. So, you know, I know for myself, the whole way I look at the world, my whole outlook on life has changed so much that I'm a different person than when I was in my 20s. I'm a lot more reserved. I'm a lot more, I know that the world is filled with so much that you're bound to learn from all the ups and downs that you have in life. And Meghan, at her age, coming into this marriage at the same age that Diana was when she died, Meghan knows better. She knows better. But she's so self-absorbed with her own sense of who she is. And she hasn't been smacked down enough, because she's always been pretty much handed everything she's ever wanted, that she hasn't had those ups and downs in life the way she should, to really understand, hey, look, you don't behave that way. And this is, you know, it may look like Meghan is getting all the things that she wants, like she's just seems whatever she wants she gets, like Meghan, like Harry says, what Meghan wants Meghan gets, whatever. You know, the sad part about that is that her reality of what she sees in all these things that she sees herself getting, she doesn't see that she's hurting her reputability. She's hurting her likability. She's hurting her sense of people wanting to support her. She's hurting a lot of those things, like I said in my last video, that you just can't buy. And at some point, she's going to realize, oh, wait, why don't nobody like me? Or I got what I want. I'm doing all these great things, but I have all these people that don't like me too. And the support that she thinks she may have, that she had when she first came into the royal family, soon, I don't even know if she even sees that she's turned a lot of people off by her behavior. That is going to continue to grow the more she behaves this way. And I don't know, is she still friends with Serena? Is she still friends with some of these celebrities who have yet to speak out on her behalf? I'm not so sure. So, you know, time will only tell. Because she could be so laser focused on me. Let me get what I want. Let me get what I want. Let me keep going. And while she's doing that, she's rolling people over. She's knocking people down. You know, she's just getting rid of friendships and her likability and all this stuff, by all this material things that she wants. Your likability, who you are as a person, the soul of who you are as a human being, starts to deteriorate. And then pretty soon she's going to take a breath. She's going to look out. She's going to turn around and look. It's like, wait, where did all my fans go? Where did all my friends go? Where did everybody go? Hello, YouTubers. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe.